Now we've created the services, we now need to put some information into the service, i.e. the order of service. We'll start on the one we've created. Click on here. So now we can start building the service. So for example, we can now add songs, and we can all add header items and items in there as well. Headers are literally just headers. You can't add a lot more comment to. If you want a bit more detail, you can hit on items over here. So we can hit item, and we can call it call to worship. Notices, and say for example we want to put down some of the notices and ideas we have. We could use a Bible verse, or we could just put notices. For example, remember church, I can't type, eating. So that's how we add an item. There's some notes in there for you to remember, and build it from there. If you want to add songs, you can either do songs from this screen here by clicking on add songs, or you can actually, with a bit more in depth, use the songs up menu up here. There's a little better search facilities up there, but we'll start from here to start with. So we add songs. Now this gives us a complete list of songs. You have lists over here. So we have alpha, that gives you every song alphanumerically. You also got popular, and you can add some categories down here as well. We've also got lists. So on the lists here, I'm putting in the repertoire from the list that is circular that the worship leaders create. So for example, here's the list for May, which I've filled out. Here's all the songs that are in here. So for example, we decide we want 10,000 Reasons. We can click add. It's now added it onto the song. We go, I can't quite remember how Faithful One goes, for example. Is this the right one? So we'll click on click here, and a recording of it should shortly start up, which you should hopefully hear over the speakers here. Quite like the sound of that one. We can stop it. We can add it as well to there. If we want to look for songs as well, on the song list, we can search for them by name. Go back to the songs here. By the name, lyric, theme. At the moment there's a slight issue searching on lyrics from here, so it's better to use the main song screen to do that, but I'll show you that in a minute. But you can search from here. The other thing to watch out is a lot of the song titles are not necessarily the first line of the song. A lot of the song titles, because they've been taken off of worship albums, actually have different names, so you need to watch out for that. Alternatively, if you remember, last week, really good song we sang, I really want to reuse that as well. You can pick them from the previous services as well. So for example, here's a couple of other services as well, so you can bring them back up from that area. So we'll go done adding here. Again, we can add more items in. If we go to the songs menu here, it's a bit more expanded, but there's now an advanced search here. So if you're looking for first lines or lyrics, I'd suggest you use the advanced search here. So for example, we can search lyrics that contain God of Glory, and we could also add, for example, either another lyric, or we could put an author or something like that in. So we go search for this, and here's where it says all the words with God of Glory in it. So again, you can look for them from there. Just to point out that it doesn't always work. As you can see, it's not really searching on the lyrics here. There is a bug, and it will be fixed, but in the meantime the workaround is to use the advanced search there. So if we go back to the say list, here's the April list. Clear the search. So here's now all the songs in April. If you double click on a song, you'll see that it's now got the chord sheet here. You can shift its key. So this is more for musicians, but if you want to play it in a different key, you can change the key. We'll add it to the service. Morning service here. Click on the add button. It's now added. Done. Go back to the service. This is morning service there. The one we're working on. It's now put it into the song. We can change the order of these by picking them up and moving them around. And we can add heading items and additional items in there. So we can build up the order of service from here. I just want to have a short bit about how you tie up songs names and Songs of Fellowship numbers. The observant will note of you here that this one, Faithful One, has actually got a Songs of Fellowship number associated with it. Now, that is something we've put in ourselves. There is no way, no automated way, unfortunately, of putting the song titles here to Songs of Fellowship numbers. You have to look them up yourself. In order to tag them, we have the concept of what they call versions of songs. Now, a version of a song is a song where you've decided to make an alteration. The simple alteration to it is actually give it a different title. So, for example, on 10,000 Reasons here, we have an original version on it, but I've added Songs of Fellowship 2231 to it. So I can change that now to say that it's Songs of Fellowship 2231. Therefore, when you print this file out, the musicians and the AV guys will know what song number it is. Again, we can put the version number underneath here. Now, in order to find the cross-reference to what the Songs of Fellowship numbers are, I have actually put a couple of extra files on the system. So if you click on Files, you'll find here a complete set of indexes and words for Songs of Fellowships 1. So actually should be 1 and 2 as well there actually. The index for that 1, 2 and 3. There's a thematic index for 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then Songs of Fellowship 2, 3, 4. Index for 5 and 5 words as well. They're just PDF files. You can open one of those up in the usual fashion. So here is all of the words for Songs of Fellowship 5. Now if we see if we can find one of these in here. Right, we'll take this one here, All Glory to the King of Ages. You see that it's song 1695. So All Glory to the King of Ages. We'll take that. We'll just copy this. Make life easy. Go back to songs. Search songs. Just going to paste that in there. Let's try the advanced search. Search. As you can see, here's one here where they've actually changed the title of it. It's not the first line. So just compare that it's the same one. Yep, it's by Paul Oakley, Chris Springs. Yep, the lyrics look the same. We can just check what it sounds like by playing it. You can fast forward some of these as well. His name is Jesus, enthroned above. Right, we're now going to add a Songs of Fellowship number to this one. You do that by going Create New Version over here. And it'll give you a name. We're not going to change any of these. But going back to this screen, it's 1695. So we'll just give it a new name of SF1695. And then go Add. So we've not really changed it, but we've now given a Songs of Fellowship number to that song. We can then go and add it to the service here. Again, the morning service we've been working on here, add, done adding. We go back to the service itself. It's now added it in here, and it's because we'd picked up the version, it's picked the version up in here. So that's how you add a Songs of Fellowship number to a listing here. Now if there's a song that you just can't find and it is just a Songs of Fellowship number in here, don't fret too much about it. What I suggest you do is go add an item here and give it a title, Songs of Fellowship, let's make a random number, 995, song blah blah blah, whatever. Let's just put something in here. Can't even type blah. Add it here. And at least you've put a title in there of the song. Yes, we haven't got all the details for it, but it's a placeholder to do it. Now, unfortunately, adding a new song is a feature that one of the administrators can only do. Now, currently that's myself, but there'll be a number of administrators on the system. And if you let them know, they could actually put those songs onto the system. I had to do that for a couple of the songs in the repertoire. They're normally a little bit more obvious. If you look down the repertoire lists in May, where I've added some in if you see here, I've actually added the Songs of Fellowship number in the title of it. Those are ones that I've had to copy and paste into it as creating a new song. But that's the way to deal with it. At least that way you've got a place marker in it. The musicians can know they're going to have to look it up in the book. AV guys know they're going to have to look it up in the book. But at least it enables you to put it in here. And also, as I say, we can go back and put that song in properly a bit later. Okay, once you've finished putting all the service together, a couple of more things just to do to finish it up. First thing to do is to edit the status line. So say, for example, now we've got ready for Tuesday night rehearsal. We've got most of it together. Haven't got the last song yet because the preacher hasn't given it to you. So we can edit the status here, just clicking on the little edit by bucket here and say draft. We can now go waiting for final song from preacher. Add that in there, so at least you know where it is. It's in a position. There'll also be the people associated with this service. But at the moment there's only one on the system, and I'll be doing another video a bit later for the worship team leader to how they invite people to take part in the service. But basically it's a case of clicking add people, and then people who have tasks, you can add them onto the service. So for example, we could add Joth onto the service here. We can add him onto it. Invite actually gives the person the option of whether they want to take part. So it's politer to go invite basically. But you can click add if you really know they're going to do it anyway. Done adding. So in this case is one for here. We can then, once it's done, then send an invite to basically tell people there's a service, it's in a given position. So anyone associated with this service will now get a message, and you can put a message in here, and we can type a custom message. So we can say morning service ready for practice on Tuesday night. Then click send. It will then send a notification. That ends up as an inbox, email in everyone's inbox. And just to prove it, here's one that I brought up earlier. In fact, here's really the one I've just done. I end up with an email saying that there's a morning service ready for practice, and there's the people and there's the order service as well. As a member of the team, I can then click on details and it will take me to that service on the web page. Open a new page. Normally you have to go through login, but I'm already logged in, and it then gives everyone the details for the service. And that's how you put together a service. Relatively straightforward. A couple of things just to watch out, but hopefully pretty easy.